Hello, my name's Michael Conneely and this video is about October 2023 astrology, and the title is Major Challenges, Be Prepared, Grow, Succeed. Now there's a blog accompanying this video, and it starts by showing all the planet movements in October. So I won't repeat those here, the actual degrees and signs. But October 2023 starts with a fraught, anxious, even in some cases violent energy, due to a range of factors we need to know about and have to face and grow by dealing with them. That's the important thing. There are tense energies from the nodes of the moon and with Mars and Venus. In fact, I identify the 6 fraught energies of October below. Though I must say that the number of fraught energies simplify down to about 3 from roughly the 8th of October, leaving just Pluto square the nodes changing sign on the 30th, and Venus caught up with Saturn and Lilith and Gandanta. But then, of course, we have to remember there's the 2 eclipses on the 14th and the 28th of October. So it's so important to start prepared and handling it properly for the very challenging month overall throughout. So here's my list of 6 fraught energies. Well, number 1, the nodes of the moon change sign. That's on the 30th of October, but we've been feeling it for, a month at least already. At the start of October, we've been feeling it for a month. So Rahu North Node moves from Aries. It's at 1 Aries at the moment. It retrogrades into Pisces, and of course it's in the Gandanta. The Gandantas are the immaterial, insubstantial, but potentially very spiritual and visionary transition points from water sign to fire sign, roughly 3 degrees either side, perhaps a little more, are the Gandanta zones. So Rahu, the North Node, moves from Aries to Pisces, and Ketu, the South Node, moves from Libra to Virgo. But the important thing here is that Ketu is caught up in fierce cutting energies centering on October the 5th, when it conjuncts Mars. And generally over this time, Ketu brings fear. And if you have your own nodes affected by this axis, you'll have been feeling a lot of fear and anxiety, and that'll be boosted by these 2 eclipses in October. So the second point is there's a major, cutting, sharp and dangerous Ketu-Mars conjunction. It's exact on the 5th of October, as I said, at 1 Libra. This is very sharp and cutting and dangerous. And actually the Mars-Ketu conjunction starts October as the apex of a yod, chart aspect shape, a finger of God, the base of which is Uranus sextile Neptune, so their energies are brought in. And, very crucially, Chiron is opposition Mars at this time. What a sort of combination. But if we can be aware and work with it, we can learn so much about our shadow side, our unconscious material, our wounds, and grow. So the call of this attacking energy is for each of us to become stronger, and in our strength, let the light then shine through each of us. That's the goal. By the way, this sharpness won't affect everyone, of course. It will especially affect you if it conjuncts one of your natal planets or opposes it, or if you have other difficult energies running at the time, like Sade Sate, Saturn transiting the 8th, Saturn transiting the 22nd Drekana, energies like that. And incidentally, Mars joining Ketu can create fraught conflict, so be aware, be ready to handle this energy well. Terrorism is also a possibility at this time. Economic downturn, I think, will start, triggered by this. And of course, Mars conjunct Ketu is a danger to relationship harmony. So watch out, be careful, be aware. Don't let the danger take over. Incidentally, Mars was conjunct Ketu exact on September the 11th, 2001. Now this conjunction is in Libra, and Libra is ruled by Venus, and Venus is under stress too in Leo. We'll be coming to that. And the point is, both Libra and Venus are to do with relationships, so please be aware of this danger to relationships. Please be prepared to create extra space for love and healing. In fact, let's look now at point number 3, Venus energies in October. Venus, the planet of love, is deeply stressed. The stress is caused by Venus being in the Gandanta, in the Cancer-Leo Gandanta zone, water to fire zone. Venus being square Uranus, which excites Venus and wants it rev for more, and want the different. And Venus is moving into inexorable opposition from Saturn. And Venus is conjunct with Lilith. That's exact on the 9th of October. So Venus and Lilith are in opposition to Saturn. So with Venus so stressed, check out what sign and house in your birth chart Venus occupies or rules. For example, if these fraught energies occur with a person who has their natal Venus in the Maraka, death-dealing, 2nd, 7th houses, there could be a death of some sort at this time. Incidentally, there's an 8-year Venus cycle where 8 Earth years equal 13 Venus orbits. So look back 8 years ago and what happened in your life. And noteworthy, I had a death in the family exactly 8 years ago. And of course, it's the crucial time to look into the path of your love relationship too. As I said, Saturn opposition Venus can be a trigger for financial downfall. And in this case of Saturn opposition Venus, fated events could occur, triggered by the new moon eclipse of the 14th of October. And the reason for this is that Saturn is in Shatabhishak Nakshatra in Aries, ruled by Rahu North Node. And Venus is in Magha Nakshatra in Leo, ruled by Ketu. So you see, Venus is heavily influenced by the energy of the nodes at the time of the Mars-Ketu conjunction and all these other energies. Point number 4, it's very important to be aware that many planets are retrograde now. Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, Pluto and Chiron, all 6 retrograde all month, thus in some ways absenting their present energies, but nevertheless carrying the demand of their nature deeply onto us. You see, Saturn is consistently the strongest planet in dignity from the start of October right throughout the month. So he calls you to tie up loose ends, to complete unfinished business, to pay your dues, to be diligent. And if you do these things, you will reap your harvest. Point number 5, Pluto is square the nodal axis. Pluto square the nodal axis is an energy impelling us, pressing us to come into our proper power. The proper power in the way that is to do with our fate and destiny, direction and issues in this life. And Pluto is also the apex of a yod, the base of which is Lilith and Venus sextile the moon, and that's exact on the 5th of October. And on the 10th of October, Pluto stations. So surrounding this date, issues about your power could attain great dominance, importance and force to be handled properly and ethically and with beauty and success. Point number 6, 2 eclipses are coming up. So the first is a solar eclipse, a new moon eclipse on the 14th of October at 26 Virgo in Chitra Nakshatra. Importantly, this new moon solar eclipse is very close to Ketu the South Node, and it's in conjunct Uranus. So this increases the suddenness, the violence, the unexpectedness energy. And at the same time, Rahu is in the Gandanta. As I said, the Aries to Pisces Gandanta. Rahu retrograde, you see, from Aries into Pisces at the end of this month. And Gandanta energies are very turbulent, with storms and earthquakes on the earth plane and in our consciousness and in our lives. Rahu enters the last degree of Pisces on the 30th of October, but won't be out of the Gandanta zone till the end of the year, because the Gandanta zones extend with decreasing force, about say up to 4 degrees either side of the 0 transition point from water sign to fire sign. And eclipses will bring very sudden, forceful energies if they impact your planet. And indeed, eclipse energies are activated by a planet's transit over that point of eclipse in the next year or two. So here are, after those key 6 points, here are some other key energies running in October 23. Sun is in Virgo. So what's that mean? What energy is that? Well, Sun in Virgo is an energy of clever action, comprehension, analysis and service, health and healing. Though there is a need to beware taking on the negative critical nature to Virgo energy, and also Virgo's risk of victimization. Importantly, Sun moves into opposition with Chiron from about the 6th of October, the Chiron opposite Sun becoming exact on the 11th of October. And this wounds the Sun in the heavens, and it brings out woundedness to our own Sun, and it brings out our own Chiron issues. So it's almost like you could do with taking a note of these events and their dates, and being prepared, doing vision work, doing ritual, to contact their full nature and to contact the empowered and healed you that can see these and experience these and yet not be beaten and destroyed. From October the 18th, Sun moves into Libra. Now Sun is debilitated in Libra. Sun in Libra is a weak energy that harms the strength of the divine Sun's manifestation and gives too much. And Sun is conjunct Ketu in the heavens at Naught Libra on 18th of October. And, a Sun conjunct Ketu person has an incredibly record weak Sun with huge implications for their personal strength and also their father issues. And, importantly, note that Sun moves into exact conjunction with Mercury at 2 Libra, and so Mercury gets very combust around the 20th of October. Jupiter is opposition to Mars in October. This energy runs from about the 23rd of October, with Mars in Libra and Jupiter in Aries, the two planets strongly boosting each other. There's an analysis method of how your planets treat each other called Rashi Avashtas. And the scores there are quite record. It's exact on the 29th of October. Mars transits Libra from October the 3rd to November the 16th. So throughout, be aware, additionally aware, to the need to avoid relationship conflicts. In which case, if that potential of the Venus-Mars conjunction can be avoided, Mars through Libra transit can be romantic. So I'd like to close by just mentioning signs especially affected by the negative energies, the ones particularly to watch out. If you want more detailed insight, book a reading from me. Go to my Star Wheel Astrology website. So very briefly, Aries, massively affected by energies of Gandanta Rahu, by the Mars-Ketu conjunction opposite in Leo, by the full moon eclipse at 10 Aries, conjunct a very frustrated and angry star on October the 28th. Taurus. Well, Taurus ruler is Venus, and as we've outlined, Venus is actually very much under challenge due to Lilith conjunction, Saturn opposition and Gandanta placement. It's not a good month for Venus. A full analysis shows that. I'd also mention Virgo because the full moon eclipse of the 14th of October is at 26 Virgo, and because Ketu enters Virgo on October the 30th. And you see Ketu's effect includes cutting and also fear energies, and they will have been entering the second half of Virgo for even as long as 6 months now. And a key thing with Ketu transits, utterly key, past life and ancestral issues could feature more and more largely in your consciousness. So if you've got planets in Libra or in the second half of Virgo and extending in the coming 18 months to the whole of Virgo, past life issues, ancestral issues, so important to identify, to see what astrological analysis reveals about them. To do healing work and ritual. Libra. Well, obviously the Mars-Ketu conjunction on October the 5th is in Libra, at 1 Libra. Libra's ruler is Venus, and Venus is very much under challenge due to, yes, the Lilith conjunction, the Saturn opposition, and Venus Gandanta placement. And of course, because Ketu's still in Libra and has left a trackway of life purpose and past life and ancestral issues for us to become aware of and heal, past life and ancestral issues could still be feeling very largely in your consciousness if you're a Libra emphasis person. And the last 2 signs, well, I'd mention Leo, and that's because Saturn in Aquarius is transiting opposite to Leo, causing delays, depressions, heavy demands, but creating the possibility for reaping. And lastly, I'd mention Pisces. You see, Rahu, North Node, enters Pisces on the 30th of October. And Rahu's inexorable, billowing, oncoming effect will have been felt by those with planets at the end of Pisces for even up to 6 months now. And of course it becomes totally central from the 30th of October. So, to handle all this, to know about your natal charts, get a reading from me through my Star Wheel Astrology website. My readings always combine Western astrology with Vedic astrology because you need both for the full picture. Incidentally, see my worldwide dating site for those on a spiritual pathway. Go to lovestardating.com. Do subscribe to my Star Wheel Astrology blog and my YouTube channel, and see the healings offered worldwide by my wife Maggie Pashley, and join our Facebook group Star Wheel Astrology. You can see the Western and the Vedic charts and the monthly ephemeris of planet positions in both Western and Vedic for each month on the monthly pages at the drop down on my Star Wheel Astrology website. So I hope this dire description in this video of the energies we are forced to walk up to and through in October